Y'all cool?
What's this thing?
That's my mom. I'm a blogger. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your good Judy, and this is the final episode of Basketball Wives for the season, and it is reunion part 2. So just to bring you up to speed, I am I've been an executive producer on a couple of films. I've pitched a couple of reality TV shows. I'm very well versed at how they do with reality TV and basically the fuckery that goes on. So with Basketball Wives, you know, throughout the season, we've seen the narrative, that OG is aggressive. And one of the things that I talked about last week was how we were introduced throughout the season to her thirstiness in her relationship. And I'm not saying that OG did not give them the tools to set up that narrative, but as I see how the show has progressed, I really feel like this is something that they wanted to play out, so that when we got to the end of the season and found out that she was being hit on by Chad, that they could turn it around and make it seem as if it was something thirsty on her part, which I don't believe for a minute. I really do believe that Chad was very interested in her. As I said last week, I think she's very attractive, and you know, who wouldn't be? So of course we know, that the collective refused to believe that, but I think there was a lot of editing going on, and as much as Shawnee tried to make her into this monster, scary person, we really don't have any evidence. I mean, if anything, we might even have to say that she's a shit talker, because we've never really seen OG fight anyone. They're not trying to see that either. So anyway, guys, let's watch the season finale and reunion part 2, Basketball Wives. And depending on how this goes, this could very well be my last time watching everything. So let's see what's going on.
OG, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
So what brought you back?
I was not going to not have an opportunity.
I do like
to
how
voice
OG
how
looks
I
in this
feel.
part.
I have done nothing
Her
different
necklace,
from the women on the stage.
the choker,
and every time
very,
I
very
opened my
beautiful.
mouth, it was like,
oh
she's
guys,
the stereotypical.
Pause. Let's talk about Phoebe's hairline. I don't know how I missed saying something about this last week. I hope that they take 5 and somebody gets her together, because that is an absolute mess. So right now OG is saying why she came back, and all the girls are sitting there looking like they don't want to hear it, which to me it's like, why are you guys so mad even that she came back? I know that they don't want her to speak her truth, and that's why they wanted her on a separate stage so they could control the microphone and take control of the conversation. But we see Malaysia and Kristen looking very bored, looking very put out, even over the fact that she's explaining what she came back for. So right away, she just came back and she said that there's a huge colorism issue. And again, Shawnee kind of rolled her eyes to it. The part that makes me really sad is that other African American women are being so insensitive to her plight. And, you know, I can understand your what you mean to put across not coming across that way, or maybe you're not even being self-aware, but the fact that they won't even ask her to explore why she feels it's colorism. And again, just because the other girls that are brown skinned, dark skinned don't feel as if they've been victimized doesn't take away from the fact that that is the way that OG feels. I had another issue on my channel with perceived racism, and it was all these outside people saying that this was racist. As an outsider, I didn't see that particular issue as racist, but I did leave it up to the person that it was being directed to. Because to me, racism, or if someone's being treated in a sexist manner, or anything that is being portrayed upon somebody else, it's my opinion that it is the person that is being victimized that gets to say whether or not it is the ism that they are accusing you of. And it seems like they're just shutting it down, not even willing to hear any part of it. And so I'm continuing on. Anyway, the girls on the couch are big mad. They're all sitting there, legs crossed, super attitudes. They are so pissed off that OG has come back. And let's see, I look like just a potato. Yeah, they're big mad. And let's talk about their outfits, because I didn't hit on that last week. So what I'm looking at, Shawnee, Evelyn, Malaysia, and Phoebe, and they all have their legs crossed. They all have like this guarded stance with their arms against them, and these outfits are absolutely deplorable. I think that the Real Housewives do a really good job of saying, let's all wear the same colors, different variations. All these colors are horrible. The Chanel suit that Malaysia has on is tacky AF, and we already talked about Phoebe's hair. It's a lot of cleavage. I think some of them are too old for all that, but if you feel confident and you work on your body, I don't have a problem with that. I can't see the girls on the other couch, but I wasn't impressed with anybody's fashions. I don't have a best dressed on this couch. I'll let you know who's good on the other side. So this is OG's package, and we're going into who she is as a person. We just had Kristen's apology to Byron, which I don't know. To me, she should take that offline and really find some time to apologize, but you know, she gave her apology. With regard to the fashions, the second couch with the Jackie, Kristen, what's that other girl's name? Whatever. You know, the one that's always starting shit. Yeah, that couch has the best looks to me. And I like Kristen's outfit. Obviously, that's not anything I would wear at my age, but I think it's very age appropriate, very cute on her. And the makeup on that couch is better too. Okay, let's go.
Malaysia throwing tables, Evelyn throwing drinks. It's cool. If I remotely say anything or even open my mouth, I am literally crucified. Phoebe, you wrote a rap about me? What? You're a buff, and I would kill you with my bare hands, but I'm not going to do that. Did you ever see OG's toe in the...
So she did say she would kill her with her bare hands, but she also put up her hand to say, but she's not going to do that. But, I mean, this audience is obviously very biased. I'm pretty sure if they brought them back, now that they know everything that they do, they would probably have a lot of different opinions and ooh and ah at different times, if they are even actually doing it, because it's not above the editing to move that around to fit a narrative that they'd like to have. So OG is super upset about Jackie laughing about her toe, which, you know, I think to OG is being a little bit sensitive. You could take it with a grain of salt. Jackie's been a really good friend to her. And I mean, it's not even above the best of friends to have a joke about someone. I can imagine that it is hurtful to OG though, because the joke is always on her from the commercial, and Jackie was able to clear up that she's been the butt of a lot of jokes. She keeps it moving. I like that Jackie says she didn't really try to backpedal and pop the fact that she said it, but she did try to quantify it. And like I said, Shawnee's a piece of shit for acting like it was bigger than it is. Everybody had something to say, but she really wanted to point out that Jackie said something bad because she knows that that's most hurtful to OG. So OG just went in and she said that she doesn't have veneers, she doesn't have her boobs done, that the girls are obviously upset about the way God made them, which, you know, a point can be made. Like, it's hard to call somebody ugly when you have gone through so many extremes to make yourself look the way that you do. I'm pretty sure that if they all took off their makeup, took off their eyelashes, and lived in the truth of who they were, none would be any uglier than the rest of them. They just showed again that Evelyn got up and threw a cup and the contents all over Jennifer, and then when Jennifer tried to throw it back at her, she jumped up on the table and she was coming at her, and again, nobody is calling her aggressive. Jennifer still has to sit across the table from her, knowing that if there's a cup nearby, she's subject to do it again. And if it's not colorism, it's obviously some sort of discrimination that's really, really messed up. Okay, so Mark asked Jennifer what was it like to see her to see Evelyn come across the table, and Jennifer's like, it was like an animal at the zoo. And then for whatever reason, Kristen rolls her eyes to the top of her head like it's not. And I'm just like, how are you guys being so defensive for the person who is the aggressor in every one of these situations? Kirsten is not going to be happy until Evelyn is coming across the table at her, which she should know her date is coming, because it's nothing for Evelyn to turn on anybody. The only person she's not going to turn on is Shawnee, and that's because Shawnee is the EP and she signs her check and has a say in how things go. The other thing is too, Shawnee may not keep her reign for long either, because yeah, this is her show that she developed, but if enough of us push back, or if advertisers start to pull out, they will get rid of this show and come back with Ballers X's or something very similar to this, because she doesn't own the whole format. So none of this is promised to anybody, and if they don't get themselves together, I don't see where they'll have a show.
Jackie in Malaysia got.
Oh my God. So Evelyn said that, you know, she goes into, you know, just say I effed up. I said something I probably shouldn't have, which isn't that what Jennifer did in San Diego? She said that if I said anything to offend you, like why we have to keep going back? She said we probably would have been friends right now. And Jennifer said, nah, I'm good, which is right, because like, why is it such a big deal to be these girls' friends? Like you have to do it all on their terms. If she said something, she apologized. The whole world has seen her. You know, whatever she said, she's already apologized. She doesn't have to apologize a million times. And if she ain't getting nothing from being her friend, this is stupid.
They all got together.
Damn, Shawnee.
Yes. Okay, well.
Excuse after excuse after excuse. She gave Phoebe an excuse for being horrible to Jackie because she was drunk. Shawnee is she's the most non-partial executive producer I've ever seen. She's pathetic and she needs to be off the show.
Not coexist, and it's
So OG got the final word on Evelyn, and then Evelyn, you know, wants Mark to come to her rescue. Are we done? Are we done? No, we're not done. And I'm kind of surprised and happy that OG did come back, because I thought they were going to really try to stifle her. No, we don't know how much of that, what she really said, got edited out, but I think the response from the audience is typical. Because they've been all spoon-fed this narrative. I mean, they're really acting like OG is somebody to be feared, or like she's still the aggressor just because she's speaking her piece and she's calling Evelyn out for everything that she is. So way to go, OG. So we're at the end of reunion part 2, and a waste of everybody's time. I apologize to you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Oh, let's see what this is.
We had another 6 minutes of Shawnee talking about colorism. Let's make sure that we have a very important and necessary conversation with Shawnee O'Neal about some of the issues that have come up today. So stay tuned. Yeah, there's been so much conversation on the internet, from the fans, about OG in particular. To say a big conversation is an understatement. Thanks VH1 for 5 minutes on colorism. I can't wait to hear the insight. Very special conversation about some of the issues that have come up on the reunion about colorism, about isolation, that I didn't expect to have. Neither did I, but I'm glad we're having it. Absolutely. Shawnee, thanks for your own. There's been so much conversation on the internet, from the fans, from the media, about basketball wives. A big conversation. Mark said 3, 4, 5 times about there's been so much conversation, there's been so much conversation. We got that, so go to a question. In particular. Right, to say a big conversation is an understatement. Yes, we are getting ready for reunion, and it looks like they're trying to bring it early in. The real thing is, God is great, and no one, I mean, no one allowed to final say but God. Let's start at the beginning, or at least from the reunion tape.
OG saying, I feel isolated, or I feel like I'm being mistreated because I'm darker. And it sparked a bigger conversation about colorism, whether dark-skinned people get treated differently than light-skinned people, whether there's privilege attached to being one hue versus another hue. That's something that sometimes we don't talk about as a community.
Right. I'm glad it has come up, because it is a painful subject.
And you recognize that it happens in society.
Absolutely. Dark-skinned women definitely get it way harder in society in general.
And in this business.
And in this business that we're in, especially. So I hate that she feels that way. I do. I feel horrible. You know, I'm sorry that this was her experience, because at Basketball Wives, we worked so hard for that not to be an issue, to make sure that all hues, all ethnicities are represented on this show. But I get what she's saying, and I didn't intentionally want her to feel isolated. I didn't intentionally, you know, try to single her out. Last season, we really thought how exciting that she's Nigerian and that she can bring this culture to
this
the
is
show. Like, you know what I mean?
Why is it that there seems to be something about how the cast is responding to OG that's different than other cast members? What is it?
I think it's a personality thing. OG's personality has kind of just rubbed almost everybody the wrong way. And we even had conversations like, you know, you're new to the group, you kind of got to at least...
OG's personality has rubbed them the wrong way because they wanted her to come in to be the token, because she said, we were surprised and happy to have this person from a diverse culture. I'm paraphrasing, but they wanted her to be a certain person, and because OG knows who she is, she wasn't going to be that person. She wasn't going to slide into the person they wanted them to be. She was going to be exactly who she is, and instead of being celebrated for that, she was ostracized. And if you guys go back and watch season 7, and I'm sorry to put you through this, just try to like pick up on a couple of episodes, particularly the episode when they were in Amsterdam and the whole thing went down between Malaysia and Jennifer and Evelyn and Jennifer. OG was completely calm through that. She could have been aggressive. She could have asserted herself. She was very, very calm. It was because this was not directed at her. I think that everything that she showed us that was aggressive was a result of other people treating her like crap. And when you are dark skinned and you have been marginalized for your whole life, you do come to a point where you're just tired of that shit. And she is at the top of her game as a football player, trying to get into management, and she will not be victimized by these women who, for whatever reason, have had their heads blown up so much because they do have veneers, because they have had their body worked on, because they do have straighter hair, and because they feel as if they're better than her. She's just done.
Maybe soften the blow a little bit.
So
why does she have to do that?
The show, in its amazing run, has had a lot of big personalities.
Yeah.
A lot of people with short tempers.
Yeah.
A lot of people that can snap. Do you see why people might say, well, she's getting treated differently than other people?
I get it. Because, to a viewer, I could see how when you told her she was aggressive, but you haven't told anybody else.
Right. That's what they would say. They say, Evelyn's aggressive, Tammy's aggressive, Malaysia's aggressive.
Very true. She's touched a few folks, but it hasn't been anything close to what we have experienced in the past. She is absolutely right. But the difference is we have all had these relationships for the last 8-9 years. We know each other very well.
I'm tired of the narrative that because Shawnee, Jennifer, Evelyn, Jackie, Tammy, all of them have been around for several years, that they know each other. We just saw Evelyn this season, 2, 4, 5 episodes ago, throw a cup into the face of her cast member. That is completely disrespectful, irresponsible, unprofessional, and in any other job that is cause for termination. So, Shawnee, I get it. You've been called to the carpet. You're trying to make it better. You're trying to do the right thing, but it's bullshit.
Would understand that my 15-year friendship with Evelyn, sometimes we could just look at each other and she knows, I'm like, you're bugging. Costa Rica, when she showed out, as soon as we walked away, I was like, girl, that right there was a hot ass mess. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Or same with Tammy and Jackie. We all have these established relationships. I don't have that with OG. I mean, it's just a chemistry issue. It's never, ever, ever about color. Ever. So I hate that she felt that way. That kind of sucked.
So one of the things that happened in the last few weeks has been this buzz about Evelyn making a post that OG said was racist. She made a post on Instagram, and at the end of the post there was an emoji of a monkey. OG said that was directed toward her and that she felt it was racist. What did you make of that?
Well, as soon as I heard about it, I go look, of course, and second, I called Evelyn immediately because, I do see the monkey, I do see the post, and I'm like, girl, what is this? What is going on? As a show, we would never condone any type of racism like that or anything that would be that offensive. And what she told me was this had nothing to do with OG. girl, I was just posting. I don't know how this got twisted up into something having to do with OG. I would never do that. I don't even think like that. And, you know, I believed her. She had no reason to lie to me. You know what I mean? We were having a personal conversation. So I don't know how this...
So Evelyn had no reason to lie to Shawnee, the executive producer of her show. She absolutely had a reason to lie to her. And let me tell you something, even if it was my best friend that was the executive producer, if I knew that it was going to cost me my job, I would have said exactly what she supposedly said, which I don't believe for one reason. I'm sorry, for 1 minute. I think this is all bullshit. It's 1 minute left. I'm just really disappointed. Terribly disappointed. And I think the only real viable solution is to pull OG and CC, Byron and Kwame, and give them their own shows. And really, it should be called Basketball Wives because they are the closest things to that. But this is just, it's garbage.
That particular post got twisted up into being about OG. I'm not sure where that stemmed from.
How
That
did it
was
not
an
get?
internet
You have a
thing.
beef
I'm not
with
sure,
OG.
but she said it wasn't. So, you know, I have to go off of what she said.
Do you have any message for OG?
I'm sorry that OG experienced this season the way she did. I'm glad that we're able to have this moment to talk about it because it is an issue that needs to be addressed. So I would love to have that conversation with just her in another time, in another space.
Guys, to find out more about colorism, head to colorism.vh1.com. Man, I don't think I'm going to get more information on colorism from VH1. I think that's, oh my God, that's so insulting. That's the biggest insult of all of this. We're going to head over to the people that perpetuated it and made it a big issue without addressing it, spent the whole, what is VH1 going to tell us about colorism other than the fact that it's all in our head? Thanks, but no thanks. So guys, that is it. That's reunion part 2. I hope you enjoyed this reaction. Please leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next reaction. Bye.